hands were shaking and my arms could barely grip the rope, but with the last of my strength, I climbed out of the well and headed back to the castle. Ever since the magic mirror returned, its reflections have warned the kingdom of danger, kept our family safe, and it has exposed many troublesome crumbs tangled in my beard.
Yeah. King Edward was so proud that you returned his lost treasure that he made you king. Everyone knows that part. Now, can we get back to that dragon?
Gwendolyn, there is so much more to my stories than dragons. I hope this old cap will be remembered for far more than the action tattered across its brim, sewn into the seams of many hidden adventures. All right, let's get back to the dragon.
Tell me everything. How did you know shooting the bell would distract him?
Over the years, I realized that the dragon was not the despicable, hideous beast Daventry had made him out to be. He was just a caged animal that was very hungry. I, too, would be violently angry if I could only eat when my neglectful owner rang the bell. I know it was a sneaky trick, but I certainly wasn't going to set a dragon loose on the town or participate in any more abuse.
You really thought that through, Grandpa. I would have tricked them, too. Back home, they call me Gwendolyn the Smarty Pants.
You come from a long line of logically minded nobles and one very clever dentist.
All right, you two. Grandpa needs to rest. Gwendolyn, it's way past your bedtime.
Sleep well, Grandpa. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
I don't need rest. I'm as spry as I've ever been, though I wouldn't mind a slice of magic fruit.
Sim, o jogo tá mudo mesmo. Talvez é pra crescer o suspense.
Well, hello, cousin.
Guards!
I'm glad you're finally here. He's been asking about you for days. I had to sit through the same
Primo
story
dela.
5 times.
We got here as fast as we could. And I like Grandpa's stories, especially the ones with dragons.
Ah, yes, the legendary beast he outsmarted with its own dinner bell. I don't know if he forgets that I've heard that story before or if he just doesn't care, but he loves telling it to anyone that will listen. I'm pretty sure I heard the nursemaids telling his same jokes in the hall.
Have you heard anything the doctors are saying?
Yes, doctors, wizards, magic elves. Grandfather is fine, Gwendolyn. They all say the same thing. He's just old. He still has a few good years left. Look, we're all excited that your family made the trip, but there's no need to worry. You should get some rest. I'm sure you're scheduled for a full morning of Grandfather's hilarious ramblings.
Oh, I'm also scheduled for the tournament tomorrow.
Ah, yes, the fencing tournament. You'll love it. I'm, of course, favored to win and will make sure you have the very best seat to view my victory. The courtyard will be filled with important people and delicious hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, I'm actually competing in the tournament.
I had no idea we were hosting a junior tournament. That's incredible. In that case, I will gladly be there to cheer you on and eat delectable appetizers.
Nope. No junior tournament. I'll be squaring off against you.
I see. Well, perhaps this is the time to stop listening to stories and finally make some of your own. Good night, Gwendolyn. Sleep well.
Come in, Gwendolyn. You can set those on the nightstand.
Grandma said to take 3 spoonfuls of each.
I'll get to those. No need to fuss over me. Now let's talk about far more important issues, like that fencing tournament. I hear you're competing.
Well, I signed up, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Nonsense. If it's Scott you're worried about, he's no bother. After all, I only learned that you entered after he complained about it all morning. Threatened, I'm guessing. There are many ways to win a duel. I, for one, have always been fond of...
Ato de bondade, mesmo na vitória. Uma distração. Uma manobra. Palavra que eu não conheço, mas eu vou tomar o cuidado de editar e deixar aí. Ato de bondade.
Treating my opponents with respect. You'll be surprised what opens up to you. A lovely fellow once told me the fastest way to anyone's heart is through their stomach. Speaking of, that reminds me of a story. One I know you haven't heard before. When I was a much younger lad, before I was a knight, before I'd been to Daventry, and even before I had seen a dragon. It's a tale about a tournament that changed my life. It is a long story, but I shall tell it briefly.
Well, Triumph, this looks as good a place as any to camp for the night. Let's rest up. We have a big day tomorrow.
Caraca, o cara anda de capivara. Preula. Ai! Nossa! Ah!
After gracefully rappelling down the cliff, I welcomed the sight of an actual road, the first sign of civilization. Daventry was just a few miles to the east. I'd read all about its wonders in my travel books. I couldn't wait to check out its famous, fantastical floating island.
Então, bora lá. Começou a andar.
I could have sworn the parade of hopeful knights was scheduled for the next day. I should have been with them, marching with triumph. It seemed my first few minutes in Daventry were off to a terrible start.
So, how did you catch up with them?
Provavelmente tendo a pior ideia.
That odd horn seemed to be missing some sort of mouthpiece.
Caraca.
Strange tracks blazed a trail through the forest.
E aí, coelho? Firmão? Opa. Ah, tá. Só um casal de coelhinho ali. Caraca, mano. Que paisagem, velho. Isso é louco. Será que é isso ali?
That wheel seemed freshly broken.
E aí, pai?
Stand back, you dirty thieves! Wah! Oh, it's just a boy. Don't know where he's from, but it must be hard to pronounce. You know, you should never sneak up on a guy in a dangerous place like... No! What's wrong with your foot? Probably stepped on a spiniferous thornweed. Don't worry, I got just the fix for that. Tell me, is it more of a... Ow! Or a... Oh! Either way, the Merchant of Miracles has got you covered. But it'll cost you. I've risked my neck to forage the most rare, miraculous, mysterious, and oftentimes delicious ingredients. Huh, here it is. I massage this into my skin twice a day, and just look at my little biscuits. Well, now that I've mulled it over, you'd better not. It might stunt your growth. Ooh, such exquisite material. Hey. I knew you weren't from around here. Well, you best get going. Nobody likes a late night. Oh, wait. You're stuck here with me. Every bridge in is out, and my shortcut had a few shortcomings. I swear that rock leaped straight out of the water. Now I'm stuck here with no wheel, a lost toolbox, and Mr. Fancy Cakes. Say, I'll bet a fine, strapping young man like you could help me fix up this wheel. Yep, you help me fix my chariot, and I'll give you a lift to the tournament. Hopefully no one else notices your horrible lack of punctuality. Oh, how rude. Do you have any questions for me?
Não.
Nope.
Vou pegar lá aquela roda. Ver se eu consigo ajudar esse cara pra chegar no torneio. De qualquer forma, se eu pudesse não ajudá-lo e só cair fora, ele é
The
muito
wheel was
estranho.
very broken. I would have to find another solution.
Ah, não posso usar essa roda. Falou que a roda está muito quebrada, tem que encontrar outra solução.
Perhaps there was a wheel on the other side of that river. Too bad I couldn't swim.
How did you get across that river?
Perhaps there was a wheel on the other side of that river. Too bad I couldn't swim.
How did you get across that river?
Oh, can I pet your goats?
Stay away from my majestic unicorns. Find me a wheel, boy. Anything big and round should do the trick.
Qualquer coisa grande, redonda, deve fazer
Ooh, I'm a
funcionar.
rock. No, I'm not. Enjoy your broken wheel.
Ah, será que por aqui? Não.
If we just move this over to the left, right there a little more, and bargain stopper.
I wondered what those birds needed a toolbox for.
Ah, claro.
Shame. The only tool left seemed to be a small hatchet. And no, Gwendolyn, before you start asking me thousands of questions about that hatchet, I did not go around using it on everything.
Acho que isso foi o jogo dizendo assim... Tá, não são todas as árvores que são cortáveis. Agora não vai cair nada. Mas, com um pouco de sorte... Aquela árvore que ele chacoalhou deve...
The wheel was very broken. I would have to find another solution.
Ooh, come to Daventry, they said. See all the bridges, they said. What bridges?
Perhaps it was
Yeah,
a
what?
wheel on the other side of the river. Too bad I couldn't swim.
How did you get across that river?
Cortando essa árvore, claro. Pena que ele não corta. Ah, corta.
That missing wheel had me stumped. I had to go out on a limb to get past the root of the problem.
Grandpa, your infamous puns are not my favorite.
What's the matter? You don't like the timbre of my voice? You'll warm up to the puns.
These are terrible.
Que isso, gatinhos? Oi.
Here, kitty, kitty. Not a kitty, not a kitty!
Passar reto. Tá, eu vou só ver a animação que ele vai fazer ali, apesar de eu já imaginar que eu vou ter que dar
An overgrown patch of spiniferous thornweeds obstructed a path to the water well.
The well with the ginormous dragon in it?
Perhaps. I tried to chop down those thornweeds, but my tiny hatchet was ineffective. I would need a bigger, sharper blade.
Bigger Chopper Blade. Uma lâmina maior e mais afiada. Toque, toque. Bom, não seja por isso.